I will get to the welcome to another Tweedy Outdoors video bit, but just doing some preamble, some scene setting. Hello, finally, was that a long bit of preamble? Sorry about that. Welcome to another Tweedy Outdoors video. I'm just out for a daytime stroll today, not a wild camp, so 50% of you will probably click away now. Bye-bye. I'm in the vicinity of Goring Streatley, as you probably saw back then. I've walked from Goring, where the station is, over the River Thames, through Streatley. I'm now following what is a section of the Ridgeway, in fact, although it's just a country road at this point. It's part of the Ridgeway National Trail. My main goal today is to go to a pub that I'm extremely fond of, quite special to me, called the Bell Inn at Aldworth, and it's not far off the Ridgeway. This probably isn't the absolute most direct route to get to it from Goring Streatley station. You could just follow the other road, but I thought this might be a little bit nicer, cutting across country a bit. So yes, that's the plan for today. Perhaps not very exciting. I don't know how interesting a video this is going to make, but I'm going to go to one of my absolute favourite pubs of all time, and then a little wander in the area, see a little bit of Streatley Hill perhaps on the way back. Snowdrops. Not quite the first ones I've seen in the wild at somebody's driveway, but haha. I think these have crept out from somebody's garden nearby rather than being truly wild, but still lovely to see snowdrops. It's late January, and of course these are always the first sign that spring is on its way. The Ridgeway continues that way all the way to Avebury eventually by way of Wantage. I'm heading off on this footpath here, which I think is a more direct line to Aldworth. It's quite a good footpath actually, the one that comes off the Ridgeway, heads towards Aldworth. Nice sort of tree-lined bit back there, and it's well marked out heading on from here. I see a pheasant in the distance. Bit of a grey day, unfortunately. The weather forecast was teasing me with the prospect of the occasional glimpse of sunshine poking through the clouds, but can't really see much of that happening at the moment. But never mind, I've got the pub to look forward to. Yeah, this definitely isn't the most scintillating landscape for walking. The weather's not helping, but there you go. Bank here is absolutely riddled with holes. What do you think? There's some evidence. Rabbits? A bit like rabbit poo to me. Fairly close now by the looks of things. There's the magic blue tankard. Corsair, I guess. I love that. Straight off the footpath, straight into the pub beer garden. The lovely old sign, try and get the umbrella out of the way. There you go, the Bell Inn at Aldworth.
Good afternoon, sir. How are we doing?
Find a seat outside. Am I even in shot? Cheers. Cheers. I've got myself a fairly substantial cheese roll from the spectacular Bell Inn. Very busy in there, as always. Feels a bit awkward doing films inside a pub. People just want to enjoy themselves and have a quiet drink. I don't want an idiot with a camera ruining the atmos. So hopefully you got a bit of a glimpse of it. The bar is quite nice. It's down. The bar's pretty special. I hope you noticed that in that brief glimpse there. It's got this sort of galleried, windowed closure which is quite unique. You can actually close the bar literally by sliding that window across. It's a pretty unusual thing now. It's in the camera inventory of historic pub interiors, and I think this is on the highest grade of you know, an interior of national importance, I believe. Right, how do we attack this? There's a little pot of some kind of pickle there. Bit of that in, I think. Just look at the size of that wedge of cheese. That's spectacular. Love it. Bit of mustard as well. What do you reckon? Alright. I don't know if it's sacrilege to combine mustard and... Oh, that's Piccadilly for you, isn't it? Oh, bread's warm. Cheers. Cheers. This isn't lager, before you ask. This is cider. Couldn't resist it. Start off with bitter. Very good that was too. Mr. Toad's, I think it's called. But then I saw some, I think local cider advertised. Couldn't resist it. Sorry about the cars. Part of the reason this pub is so special to me is an old friend of mine, in fact a colleague, my very first boss, my first proper job, a lovely guy called Russ. This was a favourite pub of his. Sadly he passed away 8-9 years ago. And I came here with a friend, hi Simon if you're watching, to sort of drink to his memory. Sorry about the car noise. Just after we heard the sad news 8-9 years back now, and he always said, you know, for him this was like a slice of heaven, sitting in the tap room, which is just behind me. It's the one we got a brief glimpse of just now with the sort of inglenook fireplace. He said for him, sitting in the tap room in the Bell at Aldworth with a pint of mild was his idea of heaven. So wherever you are now, Russ, here's to you. Well, I've left the Bell at Aldworth now. I'm walking back towards Streatley along the road, and it's not a fun walk, to be honest. There's a surprising number of cars, but it is the most direct way from Aldworth to Streatley. In the way I came on the way here via the Ridgeway was a bit of a detour. I'd like to try and get to Streatley Hill, which is a bit more over that side as well. So yes, perhaps not the most fun walking now, but the pub was fantastic. Well, I seem to have skipped a lot of the unpleasant walk back to Streatley because a very nice man offered me a lift in the car, and we had a lightning conversation about Ian Rankin and Dolly the sheep, of course. So yes, I've slightly lost track of what I'm supposed to be doing now. A bit disoriented by that nice interlude. Back in Streatley. I think I'm going to try and take a look at some of the open access land over there in Streatley Hill. Very nicely placed bench. I wheezed my way up some of, I think this is called Streatley Hill, the hill above Streatley, it would make sense. And I mean, again, shame about the glum weather, the grey skies, but that's it's quite a nice view. You can imagine that on a day with blue sky in summer being quite glorious. Well, this is common wood now up above Streatley. It's quite nice. So here's an oddity I couldn't find much about on the web. How well that comes out, but there are these, I believe they're called turf mazes. And they're quite subtle. Hopefully you can just about make out the ridges there here on Streatley Hill. There's another one there. They're not marked on the OS map, so my guess would be these are modern. As I read somewhere, they're more likely New Age than Bronze Age. And any easy way of finding them is to use Google Maps. Actually, that had the marker location just about right. Well done, Google Maps. bowl here. Often see those in the landscape. Are they old meteor impact sites, or just sort of mining or some such? So that's where I was just now, apparently the Holies. And just the other side of the road from there is Lardon Chase, which sounds like a French parlour game. Doesn't lardon mean little bits of bacon? Still trying hopelessly to get a bit of video of that red kite. It's just going to be a blob, isn't it? That, I hope you'll agree, is a rather nicely placed bench. Of course, it would be better if there were blue sky and it was sunny and blah blah blah. Come round the corner a bit more of a view now. Albeit still just greys and browns. There's a trig point here hidden in a hedge. Don't know if that angle's going to work. You see the back of my head walking down the hill. Does look impressive, you know, with my eyes looking at it now, but got a feeling this is it's just going to be grey and rather bland on the GoPro. But you know, lovely hill. Come back in summer, Tweedy Outdoors. That's very sad. The John Barleycorn, my favourite pub in Goring, is temporarily closed. It looks like they're looking for sort of between management. Very sad. Would have loved to have popped in there. It is on the way to the station. Well, there is a backup plan. The Catherine Wheel is just around the corner, which used to be a really beautiful pub, but it was modified a few years ago and it has sort of lost a bit of its charm, sadly. I mean, you know, in fairness, in the interest of making it a viable business, I imagine. There we go, backup pub, the Catherine Wheel. Still got a nice fireplace. The far end has changed quite a lot, but this corner is more or less the same as I remember it. Well, I have returned to Goring Streatley. Is that in shot? Great bit of composition there. So yes, that is the end of today's walk. It's been an odd sort of random roundabout figure of 80 sort of walk, not quite circular. Did kind of meander all over the place, but I quite enjoyed that. You know, the sky is still doggedly grey and the scenery perhaps wasn't particularly inspiring, but the pub, the main pub, was absolutely spectacular as always. The Bell Inn at Aldworth, beautiful pub, and yeah, it was nice to fit in that quick bonus pub at the Catherine Wheel. Shame about the John Barleycorn, but hopefully that will be opening again sometime soon. So my train is approaching. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.